Hi, Nigeria. I'm going to apologize in advance for my coughing. I have a little bit of an allergy thing going on.
You are a legend. You can do whatever you want to do
Oh,
today.
you're so sweet. Thanks. You're so sweet.
Good evening. My name is Nigeria Chambers. I'm from Big Gold Belt Media Lauren. It's an honor to talk to you today. Your new film, In a Violent Nature, coming to theaters May 31st. Thank you for the time. How you doing?
I'm good, Nigeria. How are you doing? Thanks for having me on. It's
A-
really cool to be here.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, 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 no. Thank you. Um, I want to start off by just asking, because for someone who's just meant so much, but yet given so much to this genre, what does it mean to be back in a film, which I think is going to breed a franchise, which I would assume once the world gets to check it out in May 31st, that this will be an instant classic.
It's just an honor to be involved again. It's been so many years, except for a couple of independent films, here and there, within the genre also. It's just an honor to be a part of something that's just groundbreaking when you see it. Have
Yeah.
you seen the movie yet?
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah.
then you know what I'm talking about. To have a movie that is so still, excuse me, I have allergies, to have a movie that's so still and that is unafraid of that stillness. It's incredible what Chris Nash did. He's the director writer. It's just incredible how that feeling just exudes from the screen when you watch it.
Yeah. I'm very interested because anyone who follows you and you have not been, if anything, far away from hiding on the rock. You're everywhere. So, knowing that you've been booked and busy in terms of conventions and just appearances and so on, I'm curious about when you received that call from Chris. What were you doing? What were sort of the thoughts going through your head? Talk me through that.
Wow, what was I doing? Oh my goodness, it came in the middle of winter, actually. So I was probably watching football. But it was very cool because it was completely unexpected. That's just not a call that was in my, you know, orbit, if
Yeah.
you will. So he sent me an email that included the script. I'm reading through it. I'm going, wow, okay, gotcha. Ooh, that killed. Ooh. That type of thing. And I'm reading my part and I'm thinking, wow, oh, okay, what a story that she's got to tell. So we had a Zoom meeting about it and, booked the gig. And then filming was postponed for me by a few weeks because they ran into horrible weather because it was filmed in a place way, way west called Sault Ste. Marie in Canada.
Okay.
So they had some delays with the weather, and it was pushed 1 week, then it was pushed another week. And he goes, I'm so sorry, Lauren. I'm so sorry. I said, no, it gives me more time to memorize all that dialogue. That
Um,
was the hardest
yeah.
thing.
And
Yeah.
from the iconic Vicky to now the woman, was that always the name given to you? Did you have any questions about the character being labeled as the woman? What was sort of your thought with that?
I no, you know what? It just seems so appropriate because she's just driving down the road in her neighborhood in her pickup truck in the middle of nowhere, minding her own business, drinking coffee, has horrible coffee breath. It just made sense that she's not given, I don't know, Valerie or whatever. It's more mysterious that way too, because who is this woman?
Yeah.
And the things that she talks about that she has seen, who is she? So it just lends more mystery to the role and to the movie. Like, who, what? Who? Because you're not given a name. I liked it. I
Yeah.
actually liked the fact that I didn't have a name. I was like, yeah, that she's a mysterious old chick.
I enjoy it too, and I spoke so much about how this film really takes doesn't reinvent the wheel when in terms of a slasher, but does some very unique and take some very cool creative liberties that definitely makes it stand out on its own. And when you catch yourself, you're a big name, and you say, "Oh, okay," and then it's the woman. It's like, okay, now I don't know what to do because you assume somebody like you're like this can go a couple of different ways, but when you have a name such as this, the woman, it almost leaves like the possibilities open, which we will talk a little bit more about your character because I don't want to give anything away. But for what it's worth, the woman, and from seeing people's interactions with you at conventions, people talk about how nurturing, how caring you are. Those moments are special for them. I'm curious about just how much of the woman is actually you.
Yeah, the caring about the character, because I don't want to give anything away. But I've never seen anybody mauled by an animal before. So to have that dialogue and have no point of reference,
Yeah.
I had to use my extremely active imagination. And I likened it to putting pearls on a necklace.
Yeah.
Then there's more to this story. Oh, and then there's more. So
Mhm.
you're constantly layering it. And I think Chris, when he wrote it, did such a nice job of layering the story and then having me deliver his words in a way that makes it sound like this is just perfectly normal stuff that goes on up here in Sioux City. Just
Yeah.
perfectly normal. And
Yeah.
that
And
gives it a little freak factor too, because I don't want to give anything away, but you don't know what the woman is going to do
it's true.
to
And
the
I
passenger.
and right and the interaction with Andrea's character Chris,
Mhm.
picking somebody up or assisting somebody in a time of need is also has its own danger factors, but I thought it was so nurturing because she was so calm, and it was like, but also from everything that just happened in this film, nothing's calm, and at any time anything can happen, so I was just on edge through those moments. um I gotta say too, I was gonna kind of say this towards the end of the interview here, but one thing you didn't mention, but I have to make sure I give you your flowers about is you are a storyteller. First of all, I'm not rushing or demanding anything, but I'm waiting for the next episode of the Not the Final Girl podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get back to work on that there. But I mean, like, I thought that's why like it was so the story being told about Bobby is which we're talking about fans here. It was just right down your wheelhouse because like the way how you tell stories on the podcast makes even more sense, which even brings even more of a what is going to go on here. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of opportunity for fun
Oh, okay. I like fun.
to turn the page here. Where do you want to see this character go? What would be the next part of this story, considering what we know about Bobby, everything that happens in this film? What would you think would be the next step if you had to turn the page in the script? What would be that next step?
I would love to turn the page and have her be related to the killer's mother. I want to be Aunt the woman,
Yeah,
and I want to know all about his escapades, and I want to condone them. I
yeah,
think that would be a lot of fun.
me too. I recently saw on social media you had a chance to check this out with the audience. By all means, this film hands down has the most brutal killing I have ever seen. I'm wondering for yourself, from seeing it with the fans and seeing it on the big screen, what was your reactions to some of the moments? And if you could highlight one of your favorite moments of the film.
Wow. Well, I will say it's always a lot of fun to watch your movie with an audience, and I've done that when we had the 40th anniversary of Friday the 13th Part Two. I went to a few movie theaters and drive-ins across the country and watched the movie with fans, yelling at the characters from behind in the audience. So this was kind of cool because people were applauding the kills. They're like, "Yeah!" And I'm looking around, and I looked at my husband, and I went, "Yeah." I said, "That's a good thing." So there is the one kill, and I don't want to give it away what happens. And I've got to get in touch with Chris Nash and just say, okay, how did you do that? And I think you know what I'm talking about. It's on the hilltop.
Yep, yep, yep.
I mean, that's the one where I actually did this. I took my dress and I just went like this. which I usually do only when I see myself on the screen. But that was just a lot. I hadn't really eaten a whole lot, which was a good thing, I think, too.
I was saying to myself after my second time viewing, I was just like, the poor girl just wanted to do yoga. Come on, Chris. She just
Yeah.
wanted to do yoga.
I'll never, that's a lesson. Don't do yoga at the edge of a hill. Ever.
Well, Laura, listen, we'll end it off on this. I've already been advocating why people need to see this film. I absolutely think that this will be the start of and breed a franchise that will be the next iconic slasher and franchise in the horror genre. Everybody will be talking about Johnny without a doubt. But for you, first off, thank you so much for your time today and your contributions again into the horror genre and in this film. But for you, why is it that people need to see this film?
Because they've never seen anything like it. There's no music. You're walking with the killer, and you are so immersed in his experience that you leave the movie theater feeling like you're maybe him. It's really creepy. It's a very creepy feeling. Yeah.
You heard it from the legend herself, Lauren Marie Taylor. Thank you so much for your time. And folks, you can check out In a Violent Nature coming exclusively in theaters May 31st. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me, man. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Methodically.